This is the Linden, the second installment to the Calligraph collection alongside the Duneshore. It shares a handset and dial design with the Duneshore, packaged in a new 39mm round case, which wears quite a bit dressier. The case is a 3-piece construction with a screw-down case back. It measures 10.5mm thick and 48.5mm lug-to-lug with a 20mm lug width. Like the Duneshore, the Linden also uses the Miyota 9015 movement with a custom rotor featuring the visitor door knocker logo and cutouts that are shaped like the hour indices on the dial. There's also a custom date disc done in black with BGW9 lume printed numerals, and that lume is also used on the hour and minute hands, the applied hour indices, the lower layer of the sandwich dial, which creates the minute marks, and the dial signature. Both front and back crystals are sapphire, and the top sapphire has anti-reflective coating applied to the underside. The crown is push-pull, and the water resistance is 50 meters. Despite appearing more traditional than the Duneshore, the Linden really has a lot of interesting things going on with its case. The bezel has a wide polished chamfer before dropping off into a thin brushed ring that is recessed into the mid-case. The lugs are brushed on top and have these steeply angled polished chamfers that reach up toward the bezel chamfer, which is a design choice reminiscent of the Duneshore, where again you had the case sides pulled up toward the top of the watch. Below those chamfers then is a brushed region, which is framed by another polished chamfer on the bottom, which is possibly my personal favorite detail of the entire watch. This chamfer only measures 0.5mm across and runs the entire length of the case on either side. On the back of the watch, the undersides of the lugs are brushed, the case back has a polished chamfer, and then there's a circular brushed region around the movement with all of the model data. Calligraph Linden, Indiana, which is a little pun based on the fact that I'm located in Indiana, Visitor Watchco, and then the serial number, which is quad 0 on this one since it's a prototype. So, going from the top of the watch to the bottom, there's a total of 7 surface finish transitions. And what that's really going to amount to on wrist is just a lot of great light play. Finally, to wrap up the finishing, the crown is signed in a pretty interesting way. The outline of the visitor door knocker emblem has a sunburst brush, and then all of the negative space has been satinized. It's a slightly more subtle way of signing the crown than a really deep engraving, for instance, and looks great without being too in-your-face branding, which is something I don't care for. The dial colors that will be available for the Linden are white, this sort of dusty muted pink, black, and possibly 1 or 2 others. The Linden will come on a 20mm straight cut leather strap, which can be black, green, or wine. On the black strap, the Linden definitely feels the most dressed up, while the other colors allow it to feel a bit more playful. This is especially true of the pink dial and green strap, which, while absolutely not for everyone, calls to mind summer, watermelons, and Bermuda shorts, at least to me. The buckle on the Linden is also new and unique to this watch. I like to design buckles which have a lot of personality and also echo the case design. Pretty much when you turn your wrist over, you shouldn't forget what it is you're wearing on the other side. This buckle repeats the shape of the Linden's lugs. It's brushed on top, and again you see a steep polished chamfer on the sides. Moving into production, the Linden design really isn't going to be changing at all. Aside from 1 or 2 additional dial colors, the stitching on the straps will probably change to color matched as opposed to black. The same may be true of the keepers. And the buckle is being tweaked to be more comfortable. Otherwise, this is what you will see on wrists later on in the year. A final price has not been set, but I am expecting the Linden will be in the $550 USD neighborhood. If you are interested in grabbing one, please add your name to the waitlist, which is now accessible on visitorwatchco.com. What I will do then, when we are ready to begin taking orders, is go down the waitlist chronologically and just offer a watch to each person until they run out. So please do make sure to sign up if you'd like to buy one. Alright, well that's it for the Linden reveal. I'll be taking the wraps off another new product tomorrow at the same time, so please check back in for that. It'd be great if you subscribed, and thanks for watching. Later.